This guy got off. There was an update that I missed. I'm so embarrassed. You see what I mean? It's like you can easily miss something, but it looks like Lizbeth Medina's killer has been caught. The suspect they have been looking for, I guess, is not a person of interest. It's the suspect, as we were thinking. And so, as I got off of that stream, and I basically went over to the next post, I saw the update from the Edna Police Department. So let me go ahead and share that with you. But they have caught the bad guy, which is great. And so Edna Police, they shared in a statement, let me share that as well. They shared in a statement about how on Saturday last night, they actually did catch the bad guy. And so really, if you stop and you think about, that's friggin' awesome. And without knowing at that time, my thought process was, there's no way that this guy is whoever he was would be getting away with it. There's just no way. And so with that being said, I'm like, okay, I truly believe they will catch the person. And guess what? They caught the person. And so in a statement the police made, let me bring that up. They shared that today is what, the 10th. So it's even dated for today. So you can see a little bit why I missed it, but shame on me for missing it. But on Saturday, December 9th, with the help of the community, friends, and family, I told you, Edna Police Department, in conjunction with the Texas Rangers, were able to apprehend the person responsible for the death of Lizbeth Medina. And so with countless hours put into this investigation, we were able to locate an undocumented male subject identified as Rafael Govea Romero in the city of Schulenburg. Edna Police Department and Texas Rangers immediately traveled to Schulenburg, where Romero was placed under arrest for capital murder and transported to the Jackson County Jail. Although Romero is apprehended, we recognize Lizbeth's family and friends as grieving and will still need support from the community. The citizens of Edna can now sleep in peace. Heartbreaking, to say the least. Heartbreaking. You know, we didn't know if there was any connection. We didn't know if it was someone that knew the family. So more information is sure to come from this. But the bottom line is, I'm so happy that they found the perp. Because the last thing we need is another unsolved mystery murder. And so this is like really good news for at least the community. The family, I'm sure it's good news, but let's be real. This is heartbreaking. At least they could get some sense of justice, but nothing will ever bring her back. And as I shared with you just now, right before this video, that she was obviously loved by so many. We don't know. We don't know if we'll find out all the information as to what he did, how he did it. But in another statement, Chief of Police Rick Boone, he said that he wanted to take the opportunity to show his appreciation for all those that assisted this whole week in reference to the death of Lizbeth. Let me share that with you as well. Because as we know, it was all hands on deck for anyone locally in the Texas Rangers area. And so Edna Police 15 minutes ago, put this statement up. I would like to take the opportunity to show my appreciation to all those that assisted this week following the death of Lizbeth. First, I would like to thank my crew at the Edna Police Department because they did a phenomenal job, obviously, because it did not take long to catch up with this guy. I'm not going to read it off word for word, but you could go to the Edna Police Department in order to see that. But I do want to highlight a few things. They are a small department, And they can see this can call for a great demand to put on all the officers because they wanted justice for this family as soon as possible. They went all in. It became all hands on deck. And he says that they not only stepped up during their own shifts, but worked many hours willingly on their days off and past their own shift times. My friends, that is what it's about, if you ask me. That's what serving your community as law enforcement. You go all in. Yes, you need time to breathe and sleep, right? I get that. But the sooner you work on getting all hands on deck, the sooner you get this done, right? So like the show First 48. And right out of the gate, I think they kind of changed their opening line a little bit since then. I haven't watched it too much lately, but it would always share that the first 48 hours are the most critical part. And with that, the fact that all these officers stepped up, again, not only during their own shifts, but even worked a bunch of hours on their own during their days off. And they stepped up. They went past the times they needed to. And you can see that they were dedicated to seeking justice for Lizbeth. And it showed in all their many, many hours that they spent investigating that crime. So that's why I have been glued to this story, because I'm like, okay, there's got to be some answers. This did not just randomly happen. So I felt like it was just a matter of time before answers would come up. And answers are here. And so you can see all of the agencies that helped over these last 5 days. Because, from Tuesday to Saturday, you're looking at, 5 days right there? And so Edna Police Department, Jackson, the sheriffs, it was all Texas Rangers. It was all hands on deck. I did mistakenly say in my first live, and I did correct myself by the end, but there was no FBI. And I originally, for some reason, misspoke on that, just misremembering what I thought. And so this was literally 6 hours ago. That's why I'm like, how did you miss this, Manny? On the first live. 6 hours ago is when they put this up, but they caught him on Saturday, December 9th. Okay, so they had the person of interest that was released to the public, and then people started calling in. They started getting boots on the grounds, and so it looks like that maybe it actually helped them to put those still images out. When they put those images of this one and the other one, and then putting the car out there, but that, and then leading to the arrest, here he is, right? Here he is right here. And when you think about that, it's like, okay, that did match the image. That makes sense. So is that a mask or is that his beard? I guess that's a beard at first thought. I thought it was a mask, but maybe try to change it up. Yep. All right. Well, they definitely got the guy they were looking for, it looks like, my friends. And so sorry that I had to do 2 videos here. It caught my attention as soon as I got off the first one. Shame on me. I should have dug a little deeper. I would have had my answer. So I woke up and I saw that post and I was like, I'm going to share it to myself so that I can, when I get my things going. But I missed the more important part. But the bottom line is, now we can go for true justice for Lizbeth Medina. We'll continue to follow this story to see what happens next. Again, we don't know how they tied him. So right now, alleged suspect, but this was the guy they were looking for. And in that press release, it said undocumented. Okay, so you're going to hear about that portion of this if this does become a bigger story. And truth is, regardless, undocumented, documented, we know it happens. Whether it's what we know, this stuff happens too much, which is why we gotta be aware of what could go wrong in this crazy world we live in, my friends. I'm Manny Rodriguez. Thank you for your patience, my friends. And if it's one thing that I am a believer in is be a voice for the victim. So thank you for tuning in if you're following this channel to get information, and sorry that it took a little extra minute. I'm Manny Rodriguez, and this has been another episode of Deep True Crime. Until next time.